Now that we've installed that uphaul, we want to install the side stays and the back stay. First of all, installing that back stay. Working out where that's got to sit by simply holding the mast in a straight up and down position and then tilting it back ever so slightly, just by a couple of degrees, and then lay that down, and I tie a bowline into that back stay. The reason I tie a bowline is if later on down the track we're ever unhappy with the positioning of the mast, bowline is an easy knot to get undone again, so that we can reposition or retension that back stay into a better position, like so. Side stays are positioned in the same way, working out where I want that side stay to sit. It's then just simply a matter of tying that off using a bowline. Then double checking before I tie the other one. That looks pretty good. Another alternative is to have a small stainless clip on the end of our guy line that we can simply clip into that stay, for those of us who want to be able to take our mast on and off as needed. I tend to leave my mast and sail on all the time, but some people prefer to be able to take them on and off easy. If you are inclined to go with putting clips into the system, it might be a wise idea to mark which stay is port and which stay is starboard. And there we have the stays and the front uphaul into position. Looking at that, I think I might tilt that mast just forward a fraction. That's pretty simple to do. All I do is work out how much, only by the slightest of a position. Just simply drop it down, go to our bowline and just simply feed through the knot, probably about 3 to 4 millimeters of cordage, just like that. And that's probably all that was in it. I'm more happier with how that's sitting now. The next step from here is to run our uphaul line back to our cockpit, and then we need to position our deck cleats for the control lines of our sail and the uphaul of the mast. Moving back to our cockpit, we now want to decide where we are going to be positioning our sail when it's in the folded position. We also need to determine where we are going to be placing our deck cleats. Being left-handed and personal preference, I prefer my sail to sit on the starboard side of the kayak, like so, but that's purely personal preference. Something to be mindful about on this particular boat is that on the starboard side of the boat we have a pump outlet which will get in the way of the folded sail. So we are going to be rigging this one to the port side. With the deck hardware, the type I use is the Ronstan jam cleat. Nice small cleat, just bolted down. A couple of positions we can bolt them. We can bolt them onto the deck there, bearing in mind that we need to install two, one for the main sheet of the sail, which is the control line that we use to control the sail, and one for the uphaul. They can be mounted side by side like that in the centre, just off the centre line, or they can be mounted one either side. Bearing in mind that when you're working out where to position the cleats, think about knuckle strike when you're paddling and whether or not you're going to bash your paddle and your knuckles into the cleats when you're using them. Another alternative is to have them to one side, about 100 to 150 millimetres in between them, simply like that, so that we can place the mast in between them and run a strap underneath the cleat so that when we're tying the mast down, it can neatly tie down in between those two jam cleats like so. Just showing you that again, just parallel like that, and that will have a cord thread through the eye on the bottom of them, so that we can tie the mast and sail down in between them. In this particular instant, I am going to install these jam cleats side by side like that, so that there's no risk of the owner of this boat striking their knuckles on them. And I'll put a separate tie down for the mast and sail. Same